And I randomly just came across this post. And it kind of made me reminisce on how ill I've been in the last week with my chest. And, just thinking about other things like my family problems, and people not talking and, people holding on to anger and resentment and, like having these stupid little battles with you when you're not even there and involved and just going on how people do, I guess, when they're full of bitterness and anger and resentment and, the hard done by role and all the rest of it. And, we get so deeply involved, in these antagonistic kind of to's and fro's and, silent wars. And, ultimately, we think we're hurting other people. And I guess sometimes we are, but really, these people are just helping them, just hurting themselves, really, aren't they? They're missing out on the time and the lives with these people. I'm not just speaking about my family, here, it's quite a widespread, rife kind of mentality these days, isn't it? And it just got me thinking, like all this investment that people put into anger and hate and, keeping that distance and, burning the bridges, just not building back better, so to speak. And, we forget in amongst all that time, again, I've said this many times, just how precious and fragile life is. And, and I'm sure I've said this before, it always seems to be the case and that someone has to die for us to realise we've been a bit of a knob. And that we've missed out on precious time and, connection with these people, and they're not here anymore. And it only seems to be when the end of regret appears, and this, this option of being proper, being civil, being stable, being with heart, being in a place of love, being in a place to give and receive, be in this place to contemplate, debate, and, while away the wee hours, why you have the opportunity with these people. But it never seems to come to a head or become an inwardly present, reflection, of what's true and what's actually going on and the balance of that as well. So I came across this post and, it just kind of made me think along them lines. So I thought I'll read it to you. I'm guessing you're probably watching this episode late on a night. Might give you a bit of food for thought before you go to bed, Might help you mull some things over while you're asleep. Maybe wake up in a better mood. Maybe go and have that uncomfortable conversation. Maybe go and hear that awkward truth. Maybe swallow your pride. Maybe make you realise that, sometimes other things are a lot more important, aren't they? The reason it caught my attention is because it said, my wife died because of my pride. Oh, is it doing that stupid thing again? I don't know why this happens. So sometimes when I have a link for TikTok, right, and I send it to my other phone, when I try and open it, it does all this weird thing, then takes me to the App Store, then goes back to this other thing that just doesn't work. I just don't understand. Can't do it on that phone. 2 seconds. But again, that's what we're like, those humans. Like, why do we do this? Again, I'm sure I've said this before. It's like we constantly do this, choosing of preference we don't want. Because let's face it, deep down, like, don't get me wrong, there's some things in life, you know what I mean. But I find it hard to understand that we don't live in a world. I am very ideological, I guess. But I do find it hard to understand sometimes why and how we live in a world where people don't seek resolve. People don't seek solution. People don't want an answer. People don't want to hear their own answers. People want to shout and point, but at the same time they don't want to be shouted at or pointed at. People don't want to be judged, but we spend all day judging everyone else. It's like we give off a lot of very different mixed messages as humans. And, and I think we kind of forget that, we all just want to be treated. We all want to be treated how we want to treat other people, don't we, I guess? But it's like no one wants to make the first move. No one wants to be the soft one. No one wants to be the empather, so to speak. It's like what did the emperor, empathy, empather? No, okay. But you got what I mean, and it's like, and when I read this post, it was quite, do you know what I mean? Do you know when you read something, just, where's this going, how's this happening? It's a bit of a shock. So, it says, my wife died because of my pride. My wife died because of my pride. My wife and I had a little argument one Monday morning while we were getting ready for work. I was annoyed by the way she'd buttered the bread. Start this again. My wife died because of my pride. My wife and I had a little argument one Monday morning while we were getting ready for work. I was annoyed by the way she'd buttered the bread. It wasn't pretty. It was spread poorly. I made a harsh remark to her. Like a clap of thunder in the room, I didn't think it would end like this. If I had known, I would have closed my eyes and eaten that bread without saying anything. Anyway, I ate it anyway. She was hurt by the tone I used. She left the table without eating and went to work, without even saying goodbye. I was angry. She was too. And neither of us wanted to make the first move. That evening, we came home without speaking. We ate separately and went to bed without a word. Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday passed like this. Thursday night at dinner she said, "Hi." I was too proud to respond. So I continued eating in silence and left. Yet she smiled softly at me. She was a beautiful woman. A smile could soften any heart. But to avoid giving in, I left the table. I told myself, if this fight is going to end, she's the one that has to apologise, not me. I'm not going to let her beauty make me say sorry. That's what I kept telling myself as I went to bed. She went to take a shower while singing our favourite song. If we weren't mad, I would have sung it with her. But my pride robbed me of that moment. When she came out of the bathroom, I was already fast asleep. Around 3 a.m, she gently patted me to wake me up. I pushed her hand away, thinking she just wanted privacy. I didn't know it was the last time I would feel her hand on me. You? I fell back asleep. I woke up at 7:15 late for work. I hurried, had breakfast, and left without speaking to her. She was still asleep. My pride prevented me from talking to her. I'd left as if nothing had happened. That evening, I came home and everything was exactly as I had left it in the morning. The door was wide open, the table untidied. I shivered. I rushed up the stairs, worried. When I entered the bedroom, she was still there. My phone fell from my hand. I ran to her. I called out, trembling, "Baby." Her body was cold. I wet my pants with fear. I put my head against her chest. She wasn't breathing anymore. I cried Jesus with all my might, hugging her, but she was already gone. There was no more life in her. It all seemed unreal until they buried her. That's when I understood My wife died in our bed, and I didn't realise it. I couldn't cry or laugh. I was lost. My heart broke. I wanted to go crazy. If only I could turn back time. My wife had asthma. When she woke me up at 3 a.m, she would have had an attack. She would ask me for help, probably to get her inhaler. My pride held me back. I let her die before my eyes. I lost the woman I loved truly, stupidly. If we hadn't argued that morning, my wife had asthma. When she woke me up at 3 a.m, she'd have an attack. And then she'd ask for that inhaler. But my pride held me back. I let her die before my eyes. I lost the woman I truly loved, stupidly. If we hadn't argued that morning, my beautiful wife would still be alive today. It's been 3 weeks since she's left. My world is broken. My heart is empty. If I could go back, I would right my wrongs. Today I ask Stella for forgiveness. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my love. How sad is that, man? But that's what we're like. Egotism, pride, resentment, anger, being proud, one-upmanship, wanting the first word and the last word. We so often get hurt by people we think we love. But it is the test of how much you actually love somebody, the hard times. It's the test of how much you love somebody, the fact that you can put your one-upmanship, your pride aside, because what matters is the person, the connection, the relationship. Not who is nasty first, not who wants to win the argument, not who wants to have the last word, not who should apologise. We need to start thinking about what actually matters. We look at all this surface level bullshit in this incarnation we have, and we're here for deeper meaning. Surface level is your skin, it's your body, it's your physicality. That's not who we are. We are a spirit, we're a soul, we're a messenger. We're here to learn, to connect, love. Stop acting from a place that doesn't embody any of them. Because when you don't act from that place, all you have left to comfort you is regret. And in this case, loneliness. A broken heart. How many people are you angry with right now? Where one word, a touch, an inhaler, passing an inhaler, would have solved the argument and solved and stopped this from happening. I'm speaking literally and metaphorically, and I guess figuratively. So I want you to think about this today before you go to sleep. Empty your heart of hate, man. Empty your heart of resentment and anger. Reach out. There's a good chance that if you're hurting by someone, it's because you love them. It's because you care for them. That's why you hurt. It's like betrayal. You don't get betrayed by people you don't trust. Betrayal can only exist because trust did. Hurt can only exist because love did. Don't take your eyes off the focus. The focus is love, reconciliation, whatever that might be. Don't go to sleep and wake up with a broken heart. Okay? Look after yourselves. Look after each other. Always much love from me. Peace, man. Good night.